What's good? It's Woog. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. Little Simz, Sometimes I Might Be an Introvert album is phenomenal. And that's something that I don't say lightly. I don't listen to your average or even your good hip hop or any genre albums and come away with, oh, this is remarkable, excellent. I don't throw adjectives out there like that, especially for, a long album. This album is 19 songs long. So when I was first looking and seeing that it ran for over an hour, I was kind of like, oh boy, here we go, especially in the wake of, Donda and Certified Lover Boy, both very long albums. But I want to ask the question, did Little Simz just drop the best rap album of the year? It wouldn't be any shock. I mean, her last album, Gray Area, from 2019, was nominated for a Mercury Prize out in the UK. So, people were expecting big things from her on this Sometimes I Might Be an Introvert album, but I feel like it pretty much exceeded those. Usually because of the acclaim that Gray Area got, rarely do you have an artist follow up a great album or a very, very good album with an even better album. So coming into this one, my expectation was that, okay, it might be good, it might even be very good, but it's probably going to be a step back or below Gray Area. Well, I think that this is a better album than Gray Area. I know that across the board, it might not be getting the same critical scores as Gray Area, but if you look at this album from front to back, there are just so many good songs. I mean, just look at the intro and the outro. The intro, the Introvert intro, called Introvert. I mean, that song in itself, it comes in with the big horns. And usually when I hear an album start with like big horns, like it's a big anthemic arrival, I'm usually thinking, okay, the rest of the album is not going to justify this big of a grand entrance. And I was thinking the same as I heard this wonderful intro song. I'm like, okay, let's see what the rest of the album's got, because there are 18 more songs to go, and you basically sounded phenomenal on this intro. It might be a front heavy album quality wise, where like the middle and the end aren't as grand as the beginning, but no, you go track by track and you'll be hard pressed to find several missteps. I mean, the very next song, Woman, is a very empowering song, and I don't say that to sound cliche, but I mean, lyrically, Little Simz is outstanding, and not outstanding in a punchline-ish kind of way, but just in a narrative kind of way. She's a lot more Kendrick Lamar than she is Drake or Pusha T or, fill in the blank in terms of the artist who will say something bar for bar that'll just get your jaw dropping. Little Simz can do that, as she did towards, I would say, Standing Ovation, and kind of, sprinkled throughout this album. But she's a better storyteller and narrative driver than she is just line by line punchline. She's not fabulous, you know what I mean? But yeah, Two Worlds Apart, this is a kind of a Kanye-esque, and I mean early Kanye, like you're talking anywhere from College Dropout to Graduation style beat, kind of that Rockefeller, Dipset, Just Blaze kind of sound. Yeah, Two Worlds Apart, very good song. I like the Little Q part 1 and 2. The 1 being the intro to the 2, which is the actual song. Very good. Even I Love You, I Hate You. It wasn't one of my favorites, but, very creative meshing with the vocal sample in the beat, along with Little Simz's rhymes and hooks. Speed is another very good song, as is Standing Ovation, which I just mentioned. So you've got all of the, oh, by the way, the interlude, the rapper that came to T. Very creative. There are elements of this album that kind of harken back and remind me of Janelle Monáe's The Archandroid. And I know that this has been said before in other critics' reviews. Just the grandiosity and the scope that this album is covering, it does have parallels to that Janelle Monáe classic. Especially when you consider, as you get into the middle part of the album with, Standing Ovation, Speed, Rolling Stone. When you get to Protect My Energy, which is, well into the second half of the album, if they were to just have stopped at The Rapper That Came to Tea, or let's say Rolling Stone, if they had stopped there, this would have already been a fantastic hip-hop album. But when you get into Protect My Energy, which Little Simz is actually delivering the vocal on the hook, which is a sung vocal, this is, you know, as much a kind of indie soul rap song as it is a straight up rap song. So there's a lot of genre bending when you get to this point. And then when you go beyond this point, if you take everything from Protect My Energy to the end of the album, which includes songs like Point and Kill, Fear No Man, this could have been an EP standalone after what would have already been a great rap album. If you would have cut it off right before there, you could have had a whole EP that was basically more other genres than rap. Point and Kill, Fear No Man, and it would have been one of the best EPs of the year, because, you know, my favorite song on this album might be Point and Kill, featuring Obongjayar on the bridge, on the hook. This is just a phenomenal song. It's irresistible. Like, you listen to the beat, listen to the vocalizing, oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite songs of the year, I believe. Point and Kill. And then the follow-up song, which it blends perfectly into, Point and Kill, transitions right into Fear No Man, which kind of harkens back to, I would say, Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti, the legendary artist, kind of reminds me of like Lady or Shakara from Fela Kuti's The Black President. Listen to Shakara and Lady and you'll get what I'm saying when I talk Fear No Man. What a powerful song, and what a 1-2 punch between Point and Kill and that song. My goodness. Then there is the Garden interlude, which then leads into the last two songs of the album, How Did You Get Here and Misunderstood. Two very autobiographical style songs, as was the opener, Introvert, in the beginning of the album. So this album bookends, beginning and end, with very autobiographical pieces. And this last two songs of the album, How Did You Get Here and Misunderstood, are about as strong as the way that Kanye West ended College Dropout with Family Business and Last Call. Just kind of puts a bow on the whole thing and ties it up. I mean, seriously, on Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, How Do You Get Here and Misunderstood, the two last songs of the album, are two of the strongest songs on the album. But you can make it, like, if you were to ask 10 different people what their 5 favorite songs were from this album, you would run the gamut. People would have all types of different selections. And to me, that's the mark of an outstanding album. So from beginning to end, just an all-around strong effort. I'm trying to think, if there were songs that I don't like from this album, what would they be? I mean, maybe I Love You, I Hate You, and Rolling Stone as much as some of the other songs, but I can't in good faith say that those are weak tracks by any stretch. Again, she's delivering vocally, lyrically. Some kind of criticize, her somewhat monotone style, but it just works well in these songs. And props to the producer, super underrated producer, Inflow, who produces Salt's projects, as well as some work with Michael Kiwanuka. Inflow that just kills it on this project. I just love what's going on this album from front to back, and I would love to see this album, if not winning Rap Album of the Year, at least nominated. And truly, it probably should be nominated in the actual major Grammy category, Album of the Year, cross-genre. I think that this is one of the few. This I expect to see on a lot of publications' best of 2021 album list. But yeah, let me know if you have or haven't heard this album. This is fantastic, and I don't know why it's not getting the same critical love that Gray Area got. To me, I like Gray Area a ton. I just think that this one is stronger. This is a damn good album. Like, there are other great albums, rap albums that have been released this year. I really liked Nas's King's Disease 2. I mean, there was obviously Drake and Kanye dropping Certified Lover Boy and Donda. People will vary in terms of how much they liked or disliked that one. I don't expect it to be album of the year worthy. I think that Kanye has a better chance with Donda than Certified Lover Boy, but tastes vary on that one. I certainly believe that this one is stronger than both. You've had a couple really good projects out of the Griselda camp. Benny the Butcher had a good one. I like Conway's new one, which was Conway dropped a great one last year as well. West Side Gun has a really heralded one from this year. A lot of people really dig that. Boldy James and Alchemist. It's a little more underground, but whether you're talking mainstream, underground, I want to see Sometimes I Might Be Introvert on any list. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about this album. I'm going to give it another listen. I've already listened to this thing about 4 times. And again, I still don't know if I prefer the first half of the album or the second. I think I'm leaning second. And you know, by the time I got to the second half of the album, I was like, all right, this Rain, Hail, Sleet, or Snow, it's already a really good album. Just by the time you get to, I would say maybe track 13, Protect My Energy. But yeah, track 13 through 19, especially when you get into Point and Kill and Fear No Man, and then into those last 2 songs, my God. I think she might have... I think the second half of this album might even be better than the first half. But again, leave your comments in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.